Hello everyone, I Assistant Professor Pragati Shetty from Department of Microbiology, KG Somaya College. In this online lecture, we will study about the mode of antimicrobial agent, and in that we will focus on the antifungal agents. So the antibiotics or the drugs we can call which are specific against the fungi, those are called as the antifungal agent. So we will first begin with the classification of the fungi. So they are mainly classified into two groups, yeast and the molds. Now in that group, yeast will contain the blastomyces, then candida, histoplasma species, then coccidioides and the cryptococcus. So this species will come under the group of yeast. Now the second classification, that is the mold, in that class Aspergillus species, then dermatophytes and the mucor. This species will be present into the molds class. Now these infections are classified as the superficial mycosis and the deep or systemic mycosis. This is the basic classification of the fungi. Okay, mainly they are divided into yeast and the molds. Now in this picture, here is the general structure of the fungal cell. Okay, now you can see here is the fungal cell, and in that fungal cell, the blue color one, which is the cell membrane and the cell wall, the outer side, that is the dark blue color, the navy blue color, which is noted as the cell wall. The outermost is always a cell wall, and beneath the cell wall the cell membrane should be present. Okay, now what are the components or what is present in that cell membrane and the cell wall? Now in the cell membrane, you can see there is the phospholipid bilayer of the cell membrane. So cell membrane will be made up of the phospholipid layers, and in that phospholipid what important molecule is present, that is called as the ergosterol. It is a very important molecule. Okay, which is present in the phospholipid bilayer of the membrane, and this ergosterol will be responsible for transferring the nutrients and some other molecules inside and outside the fungal cell. This part is about the cell membrane. Now we will come to the upper, that is into the cell wall. So that will be containing the nanoproteins. After nanoprotein there will be the beta chains. Okay, beta 1 to 6 linkages of glucan and the beta 1 to 3 linkages of the glucan. Now there will be the rod shaped structures. You can see the maroon color, that is called as the chitin. Okay, this all molecules will make up the cell membrane and the cell wall. Okay, cell membrane is responsible for transferring the materials and the molecules, and cell wall is responsible for maintaining the fungal cell structure. It is maintaining the structure by cross linkage of this beta linkages of the beta 1 to 6 glucan and beta 1 to 3 glucan with the chitin residues, right? These are the basic molecules that are present inside the cell membrane and the cell wall of the fungal cells. Now we will see the antifungal group or the antifungal agents that are available and present. So first we will start with the amphotericin B. Okay, now the amphotericin B are used for subcutaneous and systemic mycotic infections. Now we can see it is naturally occurring Pauline macrolide antibiotic produced by a species called as the Streptomyces nodosus. So it is produced from the, or it is isolated from the Streptomyces nodosus species. Now this is called as the Pauline macrolide antibiotic. Now why this is called as the Pauline macrolide? Because as we know, the poly means many, right? The many bond, many double bond. E stands for double bonds in the chemistry, right? So therefore multiple double bonds, and the macrolide, which means containing a large lactone ring of 12 or more than 12 atoms. This both things are present inside the amphotericin B. That is why it is can also called as the Pauline macrolide antibiotic. Okay. Now the next point is this drug is also can be used with the combination of flucytosine that will lower down the expression, or that will lower down the toxic levels of the amphotericin B. That is also possible. The drug, that is the amphotericin B, is also sometimes used in combination with the other drug called as the flucytosine, which will lower the levels of amphotericin B. Okay, and so that the toxicity that may produced due to this drug, if we incorporate only amphotericin B, then that may show some toxic effects on the body. And if we incorporate that with along with the some other type of drug, then they may reduce the disadvantages or the toxic effects that can observe while single drug incorporation. Now we will come into the mode of action of this drug. So how the amphotericin B will do its job? Now first, the several amphotericin B molecule will bind to the ergosterol. Now as we saw this compound in the structure of the cell wall, okay, into the cell, this compound is present into the cell membrane. You can see in the picture, there are the phospholipid bilayers of the cell membrane, and in between we can see there is the ergosterol that is indicated in the cream color oval shaped, which will be responsible for attachment and for binding to certain molecules and for transferring the nutrients outside and inside the fungal cell. So therefore this will be the target for that drug, that is the amphotericin B. Okay. Now this will bind to that ergosterol in the plasma membrane of sensitive fungal cells. As they will bind to this, therefore they produce the channels, or we called as the pores, which require the hydrophobic interaction between the lipophilic segment of the Pauline antibiotic and the sterols. The pores disrupt membrane function, allowing electrolytes, that is the most specifically potassium electrolyte, and small molecules to leak from the cell, resulting in the cell death. Now as we know, potassium is responsible for maintaining the solubility concentrations and the pH inside the cell, and if this potassium goes, all the potassium will be lost from the fungal cell, then ultimately the cell will be dead. All right, that is why you can see in this picture the first above reaction, it is in the normal cell, which means in the absence of the amphotericin B. Okay, so there is the cell membrane of the phospholipid bilayer. You can see their blue color ones are the phospholipids. Okay, now the bilayer, the phospholipid bilayer, which composed the cell membrane, and between them there is the orgesterol. Okay, now what will happen? The orgesterol get bind by the amphotericin B drug, which is an antifungal drug. After binding of amphotericin B to the orgesterol, they interact with this cell membrane and they will leak the cell membrane. Basically, the pores will be produced due to this process, and therefore the inside concentration of the potassium that was present initially to maintain the pH and the optimum conditions, that potassium will get lost from the cell, resulting into the death of the fungal cell. Okay, you can see the leakage of the intracellular cations such as the potassium, sodium, calcium. These molecules, right, these are very much responsible for maintaining the cell concentrations inside pH and the solubility levels. And if this essential molecules will get leaked from the cell, then cell will not able to do its proper functioning, and therefore that will result into the death of that fungal cell. So this is how the amphotericin B will work on the fungal pathogen. Alright, now the second fungal pathogen or the fungicidal antifungal agents will include the graciphilvine. Okay, then the graciphilvine, it is the fungi static drug. The previous one is the fungicidal drug. The amphotericin B is the fungicidal drug which results the cell death, right? And the graciphilvine is the fungi static, which means it will only inhibit the growth of the fungus. It will stop the growth of the fungus. Okay, then it is thought to inhibit the fungal cell mitosis and nucleic acid synthesis. Now we can say that this antibiotic or this drug will interfere with the genome of this fungal cell, and therefore it will produce during the division, during the mitotic division, it will interfere with the mitosis and nucleic acid synthesis. Now as it will interfere, the process will not able to complete. Alright, the process will be stopped due to this drug activity. It can also bind to and interfere with this function of the spindles and the cytoplasmic microtubules. We all know during the stages of the mitosis there will be the spindle formation. So at that stage they will interfere, and the cytoplasmic microtubules with binding to the alpha and the beta tubulin. In the human cells, it will bind to the keratin in the human cells. Then once it reaches fungal site of action, it binds to the fungal microtubule and therefore altering the process of mitosis. So we can say that the graciphilvine is basically interferes with the nucleic acid or the genomic processes including the mitosis. Also it will interfere with the tubulin. Alright, it will interfere during the mitosis and it will interfere in the nucleic acid synthesis. Okay, it can bind to the spindle and cytoplasmic microtubules. Okay, by binding to the alpha and the beta tubulins. These are the structures, okay, which are responsible for the synthesis of the cell and the spindle formation, and the cytoplasmic microtubules are anyway responsible into the synthesis of their genome, right? once we consume this drug will reach or will bind to the keratin cells in the human body. Okay, and then after that it will reach to the fungal site of action. That means it will reach to that stage. Okay, during the division it will inhibit the fungal cell mitosis, and then it will bind to the also microtubules and therefore will alter the fungal process of the mitosis. Okay, first it will bind to the microtubules, and after the microtubules it will get entry to inside body of the fungal, and there it will bind or it will alter the fungal process of this mitosis. In the mitosis, during the spindle formation, it will interrupt that process, and therefore the further division will not take place. The mitosis process will not get completed, due to which the cell growth, the fungal cell multiplication growth will be inhibited. Therefore, the drug is known as to be the fungistatic, because it is stopping the growth form of the fungal cell, right? Now the therapeutic uses of this grisefulvine is the infections that may readily treatable with this agent. Okay, then ringworm of the glabrous skin, then Tinea crucis and the Tinea corporis. So these are the some of the infections, the fungal infections, which can be treated readily with this drug. Then grisefulvine is also very highly effective and most commonly used in the athlete's foot disease. Okay, with that also the grisefulvine has been largely replaced by the some other drug called as the terbinafine, only for the treatment of the dermatophytic infection in the nails. Okay, see, the fungal infections are mainly of the skin infections, the athlete's foot infection, then the nails infection. Okay, so at that areas the fungal infection is most probably will happen, and the bacteria, the antimicrobial agents that can act on these infections include amphotericin B, then grisefulvine, then terbinafine. Okay, this is the about grisefulvine mode of action and the antifungal agent. Okay, now the next is the nystatin. So the nystatin is also so the next drug is the nystatin drug. Okay, the mode of action of this drug also is very similar to the previous that we saw, which is the amphotericin B. It will also bind to the ergosterol. Okay, and thereby it will leak the molecules that are present inside the fungal cell that will responsible for maintaining the stability and the pH and the optimum conditions, and thereby resulting into the lysis of the cell and the death of the cell. Okay, and therefore the primary site of the interaction of the nystatin with the fungal agent or with the fungal cell will be the ergosterol, which can also called as the fungal sterol. Okay, which is present in the cell membrane between the phospholipid bilayer, it is present. Okay, then similar way nystatin also bind to the ergosterol of the cell membranes and produce a cylinder-like structures, which has been observed, which has been studied in the previous slide, that cylinder-like structures which has the hydrophobic site, okay, facing the exterior end, and the hydrophilic site which is facing interior end. Okay, hydrophilic contains water, hydrophobic lack of water molecules, residues. All right, and therefore both two such cylinders, one above the other, will set, and that will spams the width of the cell membrane, and therefore they will produce the pores, right? This is the similar mechanism we have studied in the amphotericin B. Just like this, in this slide we can say, right, it will produce the cylinder like structures with the attachment of this drug nystatin to the ergosterol. You can take examples such as we have mentioned here amphotericin B. Instead of that, we can assume it is the nystatin. The mechanism is completely similar. It will also resulting into the pore formation, and through which the cell components are leak out. Essential cell components such as the potassium, calcium, sodium, which are responsible for maintaining the pH and the acid levels inside the cell, okay, that helps the cell to survive under the humidity conditions. And if these molecules are getting outside of the cells, are lost from the cells, then the cell will not able to function properly, ultimately result into the death of that cell. Okay, it can also use the nystatin drug can use in the vaginal candidiasis, okay, then intravenous candidal infections, and it can consume via the orally to treat the gastrointestinal candidiasis. Okay, this is about the second drug called as the nystatin drug, antifungal drug, antifungal agent, right? Now we will see the third one called as the voriconazole. Voriconazole, so this is another drug, we can say antifungal drug, okay, which will inhibit or kill the fungal cell. So this is the broad spectrum thiazole antifungal agent. The structure of it will relate that of the fluconazole, and the spectrum of activity will compare to the itraconazole. Then we will come to the mechanism of action of this voriconazole. The group of the triazole antifungals are available, and into that group the voriconazole is a part or will come under the triazole antifungals category, okay, which will have 3-azole, okay, 3-azole in their structure, and therefore they are calling as the triazole antifungals. So the voriconazole will exert its antifungal activity or will carry out its antifungal activity by inhibiting the 14-alpha lansterol demethylation. This methylation is mediated by P450 cytochrome enzyme. Okay, what they will do? They will inhibit the 14-alpha inositol demethylation process. They will inhibit this process, and the process is mediated by the fungal enzyme called as the P450 cytochrome. Alright, now the accumulation of this 14-alpha methyl sterols result into the decrease in the ergosterol concentrations, the ergosterol molecules. And as we know, ergosterol molecules are very essential component of the fungal cell wall and the membrane formation, right? The resulting cell wall will abnormalities are thought to be responsible for Voricenzol's antifungal activity, which means they will result into the abnormal activities into the cell. Okay, so basically the voricenzol is a type of the triazole antifungal. They will inhibit the methylation of 14 alpha inositol. This compound is responsible for producing the ergosterol. Okay, so now if the process of this methylation is getting inhibited, then this 14 alpha inositol will get accumulate, and that will result in a decrease of production of the ergosterol. Now we know ergosterol are very essential compound in the cell wall structure, right, cell membrane structure, and therefore the cell will not able to carry out its functions properly, right, as the ergosterol will be responsible for attachment of certain proteins and the transport of the essential nutrients inside the cell and removing the toxic materials outside the cell. Okay, and this is how the voricenzol will stop or will inhibit the fungal activity by inhibiting the methylation of 14 alpha inositol. Now this is about the third antifungal agent. Now we will come into the last antifungal agent, that is the enidulfungine. Okay, now this enidulfungine is a very semi-synthetic drug, we can call it as the lipopeptide. Okay, which can synthesized from or which can produced from a species Aspergillus nidulans. Okay, Aspergillus is a type of molds. Okay, so this antifungal agent can be produced from Aspergillus nidulans. You can see the structure of this drug. Okay, now enidulfungine is indicated in adults for the treatment, which means it can use to treat esophageal candidiasis, then candidemia, and other forms of the candida infections. Candida infections mean the fungal infections. Okay, they can be intra-abdominal infections or the peritonitis infections. Now if we look into the mechanism or the mode of the action that is used by this drug called as the enidulfungine, then we can say it is a semi-synthetic ecocandine with antifungal activity which can inhibit the glucan synthase. Glucan synthase is an enzyme present in the fungi but not present in the mammalian cells, and therefore it is very specific for that enzyme. If the enzyme is used to present in the mammalian cell, then it can affect the normal mammalian cells also, right? But this enzyme is only present into the fungal cells, and therefore the drug is very specific only for this glucan synthase which is present into the fungal cell. Then after this inhibition, that can result into the osmotic instability or the cell death. Okay, now why this instability is happening? Because the inhibition of the glucan synthase, that is the 1,3-beta D glucan. Okay, the inhibition of the formation of this 1,3-beta diglucane. This formation is taking place via the enzyme called as the glucane synthase. Alright, and now our drug that we are using, that is called as the anti-dunfangine, will inhibit the activity of the enzyme called as the glucane synthase. Therefore, that glucane molecule will not get synthesized, and this glucane molecule are essential component of the cell wall, and therefore the cell wall will not get produced properly, ultimately will lead to the osmotic instability. Okay, there will be no osmotic balance between the cell inside the cell due to the inability of production of the glucane molecule, and therefore ultimately results into the cell death. So we can say this is the this is the fungicidal agent. Okay, now this drug, antifungal drug, can be used to treat the candida, aspergillus. Okay, although it is not effective against the Cryptococcus, Neoformans, Trichosporin, Fusarium, or the zygomycetes. Alright, so we have studied the 4 antifungal agents. First, we studied the amphotericin B. Amphotericin B mode of mechanism we studied, right? Then it will bind to specifically ergosterol, right? And therefore that result ultimately in leakage or loss of the essential nutrients or the molecule, such as the potassium, sodium salts, and the calcium. Then we saw the glycefulvin. Okay, then this will interfere with the mitosis process. Okay, and by binding to the fungal microtubules, all right, it will stop the cell division, and therefore it will stop the growth, okay, of the fungal cells. Then we saw third, that is the nystatin. Nystatin acts similar way like the amphotericin B. Okay, then we saw voriconazole. Voriconazole will inhibit the 14 alpha ionosterol demethylation. Okay, and due to which the ergosterol will not get synthesized, and as we know, ergosterol is very much essential compound molecules in this phospholipid bilayer, right, in the cell membrane of the fungal cell wall. Then we saw the 4th drug, anti-dalfangine. Anti-dalfangine will bind or will inhibit the synthesis of the glucan molecule, right, by inhibiting the enzyme activity of the enzyme called as the glucane synthase, right, and therefore that will result into the osmotic instability and ultimately the cell death. Okay, this is the anti-dalfangine. So totally we saw 4 antifungal agents. I hope you understood this online lecture. If you have any doubt regarding this, please ask in the comment section. Thank you for watching.